hash timing leakages in zero-knowledge protocols, and things slightly different. And the talk is given by Shibam. So, please.
Oh, thanks for the introduction, and thanks for being here. So, catch timing leakages in zero-knowledge protocols. It's a joint work with Christian Reckberger and Markus Schroffnegger. So,
There's a way of doing it for sure.
it was other way around. Sorry. So yeah, side channels are everywhere. Be it the ancient Greek fire where people tried to decode the chemical formula from the smell and the color, or the 1940s Bell mixer EM radiation, or just someone looking into your house at night to see when you go to sleep, or the funny story of the Pentagon pizza order. Um, so, uh, so looking into these two separate domains of side channel attacks and zero knowledge protocol, just from the past 2 years, we see there's a lot of activity, both in terms of industry patents and also academic sense. So the question we asked ourselves was, how does it look when these two directions are in a combined set? So to the best of our knowledge, the only work we found was actually by Trama, Bonnet, and Peterson, this remote side channel attacks on anonymous transaction, where the side channel leakage actually happens due to the different communication pattern in the protocol level. And we asked ourselves the question, like, okay, is there anywhere else we can look for such side channel leakages in the CK protocol? So digging a bit deeper, we found that, well, field arithmetic libraries are heavily used in the CK protocols. And when we looked into it, we found that a lot of them actually have non-constant type implementation. And 5 of them were actually standard libraries, 2 of them quite popular custom implementations. And of course, the next question is there a part in the ZK protocol which is implemented using this field arithmetic library will also give a catch timing leakage, leaking the secret? And well, we came to the hash functions. Actually, the ZK-friendly hash functions, which are implemented with these field arithmetic libraries. So taking a case study on Poseidon hash, which is one of the case study we did, we came to our work. And just a spoiler or teaser, in the end, we found 9 ZK companies, products, open source projects which were affected due to this trickling effect. So ZK proof and Merkle trees. So Merkle trees are used in ZK proofs. In our work, we looked into the pairing-based ZK and the Fry-based Fry with ZK protocols. And here the secret or the witness is stored at the leaf of the Merkle tree. And a ZK-friendly hash function, so preferably ZK-friendly hash function, is used for constructing this tree. So key observation was, if the field arithmetic library is leaking, so will also the hash function or the state of the hash function, and we can also leak the secret witness. Also, interestingly, irrespective of the field arithmetic libraries leaking or not leaking, a certain family of ZK-friendly hash functions, namely the ones which are based on lookup table in plain for efficiency reason, will also naturally leak the witness. So looking into the ZK-friendly hash functions family, so we classified into LUT-based and non-LUT-based. And so in lookup base, we have reinforced concrete, tip 4, tip 5, and in our work, we took reinforced concrete because it was the first lookup-based ZK-friendly hash function. And of course, here, the leakage is expected, that there will be a leakage if there is a plain lookup. So the non-lookup family is much larger. There are several candidates, and we chose Poseidon because it's widely used in the ZK application. And here it was more interesting because the Poseidon algorithm itself is constant time. However, because of the leakage in the field arithmetic libraries, Poseidon was also leaking, and this was, interesting. So let's talk about the threat model. And we broadly have 2 separate threat models. So first is there is an independent prover who generates a ZK proof, and there is an adversary who runs a catch timing exploit. roughly at the same time when the prover is generating the proof, takes the measurements, and learns the secret witness. In the second direction of the threat model, here we have a witness holder. And the witness holder does not generate the proof, but actually sends its witness in plain to the cloud prover who generates the proof. So of course, we can see that the witness is in plain. That means the witness holder is trusting the cloud prover with its secrets. And there is an adversary who pretends to be a genuine user of the cloud services, running a catch time exploit, taking measurements, and getting the secret witness. A bit different direction of the same threat model would be that the cloud prover itself is the adversary. In this case, the witness holder will not send a plain witness, but rather encrypted witness. And but here also catch timing exploits are possible, especially when targeting the application processor, and also secure enclave exploits are possible, but we don't cover in this work. So pairing-based proofs use elliptic curves for supporting efficient verification. And yeah, so we have the good old Merkle tree. And here there's the prover says, well, I own a coin, which is the secret witness, which is fixed by the Merkle root on the block. And the P proves the correct execution of the hashes. And if there's a leakage in the hash, it leaks the witness. So in our work, we just used quite already well-known prime and probe flush and reload attacks, and these work perfectly. Interestingly, so these attacks are actually low-resolution attacks, and so we found that these attacks are actually not enough for fry with ZK protocol, simply because we don't recover enough pre-image bits to reconstruct the witness with the inverse interpolation step that is required. And so here, of course, we can look into higher resolution attacks, like the ones which are at sub-catch line resolution level. And so the broad takeaway can be that the pairing-based ZK is more vulnerable than fry with ZK, at least for these older attacks. So let's look at the target. And the numbers we got. So for the first target is the reinforced concrete. Here we targeted the bars layer, which is the S box with lookup table. And of course, it's, we got a leakage, and here we get the mean case and the best case bits leaked in percentage. So percentage is of the state of the hash function, and the mean and best you get, this is depending on where the lookup table is, how the lookup table is aligned in the catch with respect to the catch line, of course. And interestingly enough, the best case actually happens with quite a high probability. The next target was Poseidon. We attacked the first layer, the add round constant layer, and here it has branching with the modular reduction, and we get these mean and the best case bits leaked. And here, the mean and the best, so if the round constant of Poseidon is smaller, is very small or is very large, then we actually get the best case, or we actually get better leakage. So it's nice to be in the random for the round constant. Also, one of the very interesting findings of our work was that we found that all these arithmetic libraries that we looked into, and this is not an exhaustive list, it could be many other. So they actually had a clear warning like, hey guys, we don't give you constant time guarantees, not used for production. However, when Poseidon hash function was implemented with these field arithmetic libraries in their respective ZK libraries, to the best of our knowledge, we didn't really find these warnings trickling down so well. Also, interestingly, during our work, so Plonky actually finished its audit, and they pressed the ready for production button. So to the best of our knowledge, we looked into the audit report, and we didn't find constant time implementation to the part of the threat model. And also there was actually a branching, which the developers acknowledged, and we also independently verified that yes, there is a branching, but it happens with a small probability. So the mitigations, so if we are using older generation of lookup-based hashes like reinforced concrete, where constant time evaluation of the S-box is quite expensive, one can actually switch to the newer generation of lookup-based hashes, ZK-friendly hashes like monolith and skyscraper. And these allow constant time evaluation of the S-box while still allowing the lookup feature in ZK. And for Poseidon, it was more surprising, but the fix is quite easy. Just have constant time implementation for the field arithmetic libraries, as these field arithmetic libraries actually are the foundation. Yeah, we ran some experiments and we saw that, well, we get a 7 to 16% slowdown, which is not too bad. So this was actually one of the most requested thing from the reviewers and also people in general. How practical is an end-to-end attack? And we asked the side channel community, and they were quite. They said it's mostly an engineering problem. We are very optimistic that this will work out. And in December, I was at AsiaCrypt, where I got a chance to talk to one of the side channel OG, and his take was quite interesting. That yeah, okay, if an attacker is anyway on the victim CPU, why not just buy a system level zero-day exploit? And yeah, that's all. This was quite interesting take as well. And asking the ZK community, they are quite unsure how an practical attack will look like. So our take is that, well, peer research is often bottlenecked with the funding situation. And if there is big money at stake, well, there will be more motivation, more money, more engineers. And so, yeah, and anyway, the mitigations are not expensive, which is not always the case. So key takeaways and future direction. Yeah, as the ZK use cases mature, side channel protection will be crucial, and several field arithmetic libraries are affected. Yeah, the mitigation is quite easy, constant time implementation, and it's not expensive. If someone is using the older generation of lookup-based ZK-friendly hashes, like tip 4, tip 5, reinforced concrete, just switch to the newer generation of lookup-based hashes, skyscraper. Some future direction would be to explore the high-resolution catch timing attacks, maybe like the sub catch line resolution, power attacks, remote power attacks, and this is actually what we are also looking right now. So any collaboration is always very much appreciated. And yeah, also looking into constant time hardware implementation, doing power analysis on the hardware, this ZK specific hardwares. And yeah, so also would be interesting to see how much of these combining MPC and ZK, also known as COSNACs, will protect against side channel attacks. And lastly, developing generic side channel countermeasures for the full protocol. And this is more inspired by what we saw that in Fry with ZK protocol, just because of this inverse interpolation step, it's much harder to execute these, or much harder to leak the witness when using these old flush and reload and prime and probe attacks. But it could be that with a high resolution attack, maybe we can actually recover the witness with the inverse interpolation. Thank you very much, and if you have any questions.
Hello. Since is actually lookup based, so it should have been in a different place in the slide. Can you explain what's different about, you mentioned skyscraper that makes attacks less practical even though it's lookup based?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I actually didn't.
Can you explain
the difference with skyscraper?
The difference with skyscraper.
And the older generation of lookup-based hash. Okay, so in the older generation of lookup-based hashes, so the idea is that, okay, you have the S-box, and so you can have a simple lookup of this S-box, and this is quite cheap in plain to do. And you can use this lookup feature also in the ZK. And this provides some nice speed up, and it's cool. But the only problem is, since we have lookups in plain with the older generation, it leaks. It naturally will give timing leakage, And with the newer generation skyscraper, so this S box is designed in such a way that you can actually have a constant time evaluation of the nonlinear, efficient constant time evaluation of the nonlinear layer. And thus you don't need any lookups. You're happy, there is no leakage, and you also still are able to have lookups in ZK, because lookups in ZK does not have this leakage problem. It's only lookups in plane.
Oh, I see. So in that case, Sintomia is in that category because it's possible to implement it efficiently without lookups outside
Yeah, sure,
the
sure, sure.
second.
It's
Yeah.
in the end, it's also it's just about the efficiency and yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, let's thank our speaker.